Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 39 of Prison Architect. We are playing on version 2 of the game now. It doesn't seem to have changed an awful lot, although we did manage to get some death row prisoners finally. We're going to just sort of fast forward until everybody goes to bed, and then I'm going to do the shakedown, which I've said I'm going to do for the last sort of 3 nights, but keep forgetting to do. We've just spent all of the money we had between buying some additional land to the north and building another section of perimeter wall, but we are making $15,000 a day at the moment, so that's not too bad. So we should be able to get that all sorted. But the danger level is actually increasing, so I really do want to make sure that we've got everybody searched and make sure there are no weapons around, and keep our eye out for tunnels and all the usual stuff. Some of the workmen busy down here on the trees. Looks like quite a bit of that wall is getting completed. Not quite all of it, but a good portion of it. We'll do the outer wall more importantly than the inner wall. The inner wall might... Because the thing is with the inner wall, the prisoners just tunnel under the doorways anyway, so we might as well just leave it as a fence for the time being, but we want to try and get the outer wall done. I'm going to build the outer perimeter wall up to where the existing fence is, and then we will use wire fence for the rest of it until we've got some more cell blocks built, because we need to get some more money coming in. That's one of our important things. So it is sleep time, which means it is shakedown time. Should have waited till everybody was actually in their cells, really. And this is the other problem, of course. The more places you build, the more places you have to search. I notice now it doesn't instantly start by showing a massive number of things along here. Maybe that's something that's been changed in version 2. Because version 2 used to show you all the things that had been found since the last shakedown. Not things that were actually found on the shakedown. One of our death row prisoners has now gone. That's interesting. Wow, we just found a taser. Not very often we find tasers. Now, where... death row appeal. Parole. Death row appeal. 2 have passed. So, even though he only had like a, what was it, 20-something% chance of clemency, he actually got let out. That's interesting. And keep our eye on the other guys, though. But, yeah, I think that's the first time we must have had a guard get killed to have found a taser. That's the first time since playing this I've ever actually found a taser during a shakedown. I mean, I know it's possible if guards get killed that you can, you know, the prisoners will get a hold of things like keys, tasers, even shotguns. Oh, we've had a death. Even shotguns if they manage to kill your armed guards. You are dead. Overdosed. Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, he killed himself. He wasn't killed by anybody. He was actually in shackles as well. So how did he manage to do that? It was quite impressive. Still finding a lot of stuff. I think it might be time. Get some more guards. Because it does. You do use up a lot of the guards' time doing the shakedowns, but they're definitely required. Random stuff all over the place. Now then, where's the library? I saw something earlier on in the library when I was scrolling around. It was like several episodes ago and I forgot to click on it. Now, I thought I saw something on one of the desks that might have been one of those little Polaroids that you can click on. In fact, though, I don't even think it was in the library now. I think it was actually on the table in the shop, so... So the only thing unusual that I'm seeing that I haven't found before is the taser. There's a hacksaw, but that's not unusual, especially once you've got a workshop. No sets of keys though, and no shotguns, so that's generally good. And we have potentially found a tunnel once more. Yep, you guys are all going to get subdued. Naughty, naughty. So, let's remove this tunnel. That makes a change. Normally, doing a shakedown wouldn't find a tunnel. You normally have, or you're supposed to search the toilets directly. If you can actually find tunnels reliably now by doing shakedowns, then you might as well just do shakedowns all the time. It's like you might as well do a shakedown every night, because I'm sure it'll take them more than one night to build a tunnel. So that's useful. But yeah, definitely glad that we did that shakedown. Any more death row inmates available? There are not at the moment. I wonder if the other two will get... where are we? Programs. Parole hearing. So there's 38 in the queue. Death row appeal. There's 1 in the queue. So at least one of our death row prisoners is going to go for their appeal. It's not that I'm itching to execute somebody, it's just that I want to see how the mechanic of it works. It's not something that I've ever done before. Apart from in the tutorial, if you play through the game's, I want to say campaign, the game does have like a... I mean, this is the sandbox mode, but the game does have a single-player campaign. And the very first thing that you have to do, which is like the tutorial, because there is a story behind it, you know, the game, you are... this game's a little bit weird. I mean, you're the architect and you hire a warden, but at the same time, you are responsible for more things than just planning the building. I mean, you manage the prison. So you're not really an architect, you're more like the prison manager, which technically makes you the warden. But anyway, that aside, the way that the tutorial works, or the campaign, there's like a little bit of a story with it, and the very first thing you have to do is you've got a prisoner who murdered his wife when he found her in bed with another man. I think he murdered both of them, and you have to build the execution chamber. Well, the execution chamber is mostly built, but you basically have to execute the guy. That's the way it works. But I mean, of course, you're being told step by step to do something. The guy's already there, and it's right now, you know, just escort him to the execution chamber and throw the switch. It's not a case of having guys that potentially could have their sentence reduced, and then, you know, it's just trying to work out this mechanic here. Now, here's a question. The guys that we had... Yeah, this guy there, I was looking for the guy with the turban, because I think it's the only guy I've actually seen with a turban. Underwood. That's not the same guy, is it, though? Don't think that was the same name. Behavioural therapy failed 2 times. Okay, I don't think that was him. I'm just trying to look, because what I'm interested in is, are the guys who are getting off of the death sentence actually staying in the prison? Oh, there's another guy there with a turban. Oh no, you are the one... Oh, so it's Topham and Jones. So who was the other one? I can't remember the name of the other death row... Oh, it's not Jones, it's Joins. I can't remember the name of the other death row prisoner now. Because what I wanted to do was have a look and see if they were now, you know, like a normal prisoner. Just trying to remember the names. Was it that guy? Cannon? Your rap sheet. No, assaulting an officer. I don't think that's a death row thing. Yeah, so we'll have to keep our eye on those ones. So Gareth Topham and Felix Joins. Where are you off to? Visitation. Okay. Well, there's some people waiting for parole hearings. Also, how are we going with the programs? Carpentry apprenticeship is active. Foundation education program. It's not showing anybody who's being interested in that yet. 2 people having the... Right, okay. I've just remembered that our parole hearings go throughout the day, but the... edit schedule. The death row appeal is only at 9 PM. So we have 1 death row appeal slot, which is 9 PM. So we'll fast forward time a little bit until we get to another one. Everything still seems to be going fairly well. That's that sort of ghost tunnel that we always keep finding. So let's build our perimeter wall up level with that. Probably want to do the same thing on that side as well. And then we'll just use wire fencing for the rest. I wanted to get the inner walls done as well. But I think getting the outer wall done is more important. We'll get the fence done. And in fact, we can actually queue that up now because the fencing is so cheap. I've actually probably got enough money to do it all. So let's just go and get the fencing done. Get the outer fence done first before we worry about anything else. Still leaves us with some money in the bank. Threat level is still increasing. Lots of prisoners have serious complaints. 199 prisoners are suppressed. Well, you should be suppressed. You're in prison. That's kind of the point. Oh, we've cut the power off to this gate. That's problematic. Because we went through there. I always forget these walls cut the power off. Utilities. Electrical cable. So let's go around there. We want to make these high priority, please. I can still open that manually. Let's go ahead and do that. There's the priest coming in. Yes, if we can get that cable fixed quite quickly, that'll be useful. Looks like they've just done that, actually. Yep, that's sorted now. Whew. Disaster narrowly averted. So, once the outer fence is built, we can get rid of this inner fence. Always a pain sort of rejigging fences around, but needs to be done. Let's go back up to speed because we're trying to get to 9 PM. We want to see if we can get another... So we've got Gareth Tottenham on 15, Felix Joins on 16. We want to see what happens after their appeal. Feed all prisoners. Why does it only say it's on 0%? I mean, we are feeding prisoners. I guess we're not feeding them all at the same time. But we're working on it. Although, people aren't complaining about not being fed. So I don't think that's an issue. People do seem to be getting their food. We are beyond 9 PM. Yeah, and Joins is having his appeal. So he's on 16%. I think this lasts either 3 hours or 2 hours. So either 11 or 12. We'll see what happens. So this is Felix Joins. Yeah, it must be a 3-hour session. So we'll see what happens at 12. See if his clemency goes up or down. It's actually now gone to 8%. Okay, maybe I'm getting this confused. Does that mean we should execute him? Or does that mean we shouldn't execute him? I guess red is bad. Red means we shouldn't execute them. Green is good. That means we can safely execute them. Right? That's kind of what I'm thinking about. I mean, I could be completely wrong. I'll probably have to look it up like I do with everything else. And once again, it's night time, so it's pretty impossible to actually see what's going on up here. Definitely a lot of workmen up here building the fence. Getting the wall put in. A lot of them have got themselves trapped in here now, so you need to demolish these walls so you can get out. There you go. You can demolish those walls as well. And that one's already gone. So, probably now safe to get rid of that entire outer wall for the time being. So, let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll build up around the inside. And to go up here and around. They should be able to get back in from there. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about that too much. So we still need the money to keep pouring in. We need to finish off that fence. We also need to be able to build another cell block. So how do we schedule an execution? Show rep sheet. I guess I could have just looked at this, couldn't I? The likelihood of clemency. The likelihood that the appeals board will grant clemency and commute the prisoner's death row sentence. Each unsuccessful appeal lowers this value until it is below the state-approved conviction strength, at which point full authorization to proceed is given. Scheduling the execution before this point will result in extreme penalties if it is later found that the prisoner's appeal would have succeeded. If clemency is granted, the prisoner will be immediately released if found innocent, or transferred to maximum security if still judged as guilty. Okay, so that's answered all the questions I had. So if a death row prisoner goes for appeal, he may get released, or he may go to max security. So it depends whether he's found innocent or guilty or not. So the state-approved conviction strength is 10%. So if anyone's clemency is less than 10%, then we can execute them. So what we're going to do is we're going to schedule this guy's execution. So execution has been initiated. Initiate a prison-wide lockdown. Authorize. Test the facility. Power failure. Switch on. Authorize. So hopefully we've got enough power. It is pretty much running on its own thing. We're doing this at 5 o'clock in the morning, so probably a weird time to do an execution. But it is completed. Assemble the execution detail. The warden and the chief will make their way to the condemned inmate's cell. In addition, a priest or spiritual leader of the prisoner's choice arrives on site and visits the prisoner in his cell to say final prayers. Loving this sort of ominous music that accompanies this. So at least we've learned how this works now. So we're just waiting for this guy's spiritual leader. Of course, he's in no rush to get there, is he? He's taking quite a leisurely stroll. Guess it is -2 degrees. Shortcut through the staff room like you do. I just feel I should keep very quiet while this is going on. Those phone taps look busy. Why are those phone taps so busy at this time of the morning? We're getting there. 74% complete. At least it won't take long to execute the prisoner to the facility, because he's right near the flipping thing. I guess we can do both of these at the same time. So witnesses to the execution arrive on site and make their way to the execution facility. This group can include family members and the condemned inmate, and also members of the victim's family. Execution witnesses should be provided with chairs. Well, nobody told me about that. Well, okay, well, we don't have any chairs. And I don't think we can build any now either. speed this up a little bit. I'll wait for somebody to open that door. Well, there's the spiritual leader. That's completed. Here's the witnesses. I love how they've brought a child along. 2 children along. To the execution. Oh, is that his family? Is the victim's family? So his mother and his girlfriend are here. And they're... Oh no, he's 29. 29 and 23. They look like kids. I was going to say, who brings kids along to an execution? So... The victim's family is here, along with his mother and girlfriend. None of them move particularly quickly. Unfortunately, I didn't provide anywhere with anyone to sit because I wasn't aware I needed chairs. It doesn't tell you that they need chairs until you get to this point. By this point, it's a little bit late. Obviously, somebody will have to open the door and let them into the execution chamber. They should all be in now. No seats, but they're there. Escort the prisoner to the facility. And let's just remember, this is the guy... Oh, it's okay, it was murder. I was just going to say, don't tell me this is the guy that was the indie game pirate, because that would have been taking the Michael a little bit there. Very, very close to getting this all sorted. It takes a long time to get all this done though, and the prison-wide lockdown has been going on for hours. Here we go. Let's put it onto normal speed. With everyone in place and all procedures followed, the final authorization for the execution is given. And that's it. It's done. Dismiss the staff and witnesses. And with the execution completed, a report is compiled and your performance is graded. Don't put me in the dark, there was even an achievement for it. The mandated execution of Felix Joins was carried out at 10:54 as scheduled by electric chair in the presence of witnesses. The standard compensation of $10,000 is awarded to the institution for their part in this process. And on that somber note, I'm going to end the video here. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying Prison Architect. I'll see you next time, and until then, goodbye for now.